I feel like at some point, okay, and then he's gone again. I do, I do feel like at some point Arizona has to. I mean, we're
I'm trying to get this shit right because they.
Damn, fucking right.
Monkey D. Goofy. D. Goofy. Robert is bad guy.
Why would they do that, bro?
Bro, because it's get you ready, don't Yeah, no!
What is good, people? It is your boy T-Rav, and I am here once again. We are doing location over and over and over again because it's football time, son. It's time for grown men. It's time for mortgages to be paid and shit. Okay? Gambling season is back. For those of you who partake. Joining me is my co-host, as always, Romy Rome.
Romy Rome. I'm here. The only one that gives you the substance you need for these conversations.
And don't worry, we will have some kind of bets on deck for you. One of the futures maybe to look out for.
Prize picks will be full in effect.
Yes. So wait on that. It's definitely coming. But let's get started with the AFC. And you know what? I feel like we always save this one for last, but I kind of want to do it first. Let's go ahead and start with the AFC West.
AFC West. Okay. Well, obviously you got the a tad bit short of dynastic, but very relevant, very powerhouse Kansas City Chiefs.
Of course.
Okay. We know they're going to come with it. We know they're going to win about 10, 11 games, enough to get in the playoffs. They're going to be in the playoffs. I'm not worried about them. They're going to be in the playoffs. They've had seasons when Mahomes got hurt, Tyreek Hill got hurt, players been arrested, they lost offensive linemen, had bad defenses, and they found a way and still ended up in a Super Bowl or something. So I'm not worried about Kansas City.
Because people are starting to say like, oh, the winning is over for them.
No, it's not. They only gear up and get better. So now, what should we expect from Pete Carroll back in coaching with the Las Vegas Raiders?
I'm expecting
Geno Smith.
At best, I don't want to say 8 wins.
Ashton Genty.
I like Genty a lot. I worry about him, man. I worry about him. You know, he runs the motherfucking contact from the few plays I've been watching in preseason. You know, I thought that maybe taper his style a little bit, try to be a little bit smarter in the NFL. Nope, that's not gonna happen. I mean, he's a fucking force, but you know, I just don't see the Raiders being able to turn things around that quickly. I mean, that culture there is essentially in shambles, and Pete Carroll's been the only sign of hope that they've had in a long time. But plus, you know, Tom Brady, minority owner type thing going on, so it does feel like the Raiders have a different feel around them. But as of right now, I mean, you have Max Crosby, but Geno, do we really truly believe in Geno to overcome the other teams in the conference right now? I would say no. Maybe a Chargers win, you know, something like that. Split with them. I don't see them taking any games over Denver or KC.
Vegas, they've had some very weak coaches in recent years, like Antonio Pierce. Who's before him? It was an interim coach. A bunch of interim guys that they know weren't going to be along.
Rashadi's the last one that did have decent. He was just an interim head coach.
Yeah, and John Gruden. After all that scandal went up, in flames, they've been tossing them coaches ever since. So they were very eager to get some structure in there. A veteran, somebody whose voice would be respected, something they haven't had in years. That's why you get Pete Carroll out of retirement. Bring him in, a championship voice, a player's coach. Out there gonna run with you and do all stuff like that with his old ass.
The man that's out here throwing ball with
guys love
quarterbacks,
and he's gonna get you through a season or two without like stuff imploding, right?
Right.
Unfortunately, I'm a big Pete Carroll fan, but he's a bridge coach. He's a bridge coach.
I mean, he's up there, man. How long can
They're waiting for their right youngster, their right guy to get available.
They were wanting Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
That's what
their guy outside of Ben Johnson, whoever they appeal to anybody. So who's the next guy who come in for a season or two, hold it down until someone comes over that we think can carry this shit for the next decade and help us out here in Las Vegas. So Pete Carroll, I can't see him being here past next season. You know, he's bridging it until, you know, the team gets better, help them instill some championship discipline. Tom Brady, he's very smart. He was behind a lot of this, okay? he knew what this locker room needed for now. He knew this locker room wasn't going to win a championship. So what should you do? Get a coach in there that's gonna set you up. To set up your locker room, set up your culture to get to that point.
To be ready for that right.
They're hoping Pete Carroll instills a culture there before he leaves. And so that way, when you retire, okay, now you can just retire. You can be part of our front office and everything. You did your thing. You still a culture.
Yeah.
You'll be able to hear. You'll be able to be here to see it. Still walk in the locker room and smell your culture and hear it. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you how things works out. That's if things
like
don't
a
go.
Bruce Arians type.
That's if things don't get just horribly bad there, but. I don't see it going that bad. I think they'll steal a game against the Chiefs. They could steal a game against the Chargers. Okay? And so the Raiders, they
were in. If it wasn't for, I believe it was the blocked field goal, they probably would have beat KC.
Yeah, Antonio Pierce caught some bad breaks last season, but he still just simply wasn't ready.
He was overmatched.
I like his quarterback evaluation. He won't work with much with Aiden O'Connell and some other guys, but Jimmy G. But like I like Geno Smith there, veteran. They just want to get some veterans in there so they can kind of, okay, let's this isn't some tire fire. They want to make it known this isn't the Browns, this isn't, you know, the Panthers. Like, this isn't a tire fire. Like, we're stable, we want to get this together. That's what Tom Brady wants the league to know. Okay? Now, speaking of the Chargers, what is your man O.J. Herbo's gonna do? Okay? We've constantly put him in these top 5 quarterback conversations. He gets paid like a top 5 quarterback, okay? He's so biology major. He underachieved at Oregon. He's vastly underachieved here with the Chargers. Hasn't won a playoff game. As a matter of fact, all of his playoff appearances have been blowouts. I don't want to hear about what he hasn't had or who got hurt. All these quarterbacks are dealing with that. All of them.
I mean, you could say that playoff game against the Jags was like a historic choke.
That was bullshit. That was fucking like, bro,
they got like 27 points. That was.
And it's crazy because that's the Golden Boy Bowl. Him and Trevor Lawrence, both of their asses are full of shit to me. But we'll get to Trevor Lawrence a little bit soon. Probably the next AFC South next. But Justin Herbert, you got him in the playoff game, bro. If this was Lamar Jackson, he would have been crucified. He's been crucified by not even get to the Super Bowl. And this man, Justin Herbert, okay, has always had decent teams.
Let's not act
always
like
had decent coaches.
Fair.
Always
had decent coaches.
Bro,
Brandon Staley
was not a bad coach, bro. He was not bad, bro. He's caught some bad breaks. He had them
caught some bad breaks is some bullshit.
Okay,
I'm telling you right now. When you put yourself in those situations, I'm not gonna call it a bad break. Okay? I'm not. I'm sorry. Going for it on your own fucking 33-yard line is maybe not the smartest thing to do. Sometimes. I'm just saying. Let's not sit here and act like, oh, Brandon Staley was Kyle Shanahan over here or something. Mm-hmm. No, he was not. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm not disagreeing with you that Justin Herbert hasn't underachieved up to this point. I do believe he has. Do I believe that the greatest wide receivers in the world, I mean, a lot of your former crop was very injury prone. I mean, you got Lad McConkey now, so that's nice. You got Quentin Johnston. Don't get me fucking started on that dude, okay? I'm pretty sure he's already hurt again. Surprise. Oh, wow. But, you know, you're starting off of highest paid offensive lineman, Rashad Slater, I believe, just tore his Achilles or something like that right before the season. So, you know, it's a little It's a little shaky, but I expect the Chargers to perform this year. I mean, they're probably going to end up in the same place as always. I don't see them overtaking the Chiefs. The Broncos are probably going to beat them both games. They're going to be close games. I can see Herbert splitting with them, maybe. But
look, Justin Herbert, I'm sorry, man. The way you were ordained when you came in, the way
he was ordained.
People talked about you, the way Colin Cowherd glazed your nuts for months because of your major in college. You have to win a game in the playoffs, man. Period. You have receivers, you have offensive lines, you have defenses, man. You've had tight ends. You have great coaching staffs, a great home field, a new franchise. What are you doing, man? Great city. You gotta win, bro. You got the contract. You gotta win. You have got to win. And he's injury prone. And you're a banged up guy. Come on, man. You got to get it done.
I mean, he plays through a lot of the times, but he's a little injury prone.
With that being said, I do choose him to finally break through and win that AFC West.
Oh my God!
Yes, I do.
Hold on. Because I feel like you just went on this whole thing.
That he should have pressure to win a playoff game. Yes.
Okay, but you're saying he's the biggest so you think that the biggest underachievement is all of a sudden going to beat Pat Mahomes?
I think he's going to do enough this season to win that division. A second year with Harbaugh. Another year hearing all this shit from everybody. All the, how you're not this, you're not that no more. He's got to get it done. He's got to get it done, because if he doesn't get it done, they're going to lose faith in him. They're going to lose hope. They're going to start listening to maybe some big trade packages maybe at some point down the line, because they're going to be like, what are we doing with this? Why not just give ourselves a draft pick to get Arch Manning and start over again, or get Drew Alara, I don't know, Nussmeier, I don't fucking know. But I know Herbert, if he doesn't win a playoff game this year with a playoff caliber squad that he has in a championship coach, it's a problem. A classy organization, it will be a problem.
Every stop that John Harbaugh's gone, or Jim Harbaugh's gone, he's improved it. Second year, and it shows. So that next step would be to break through and try to win the division. I mean, are we discounting Sean Payton and Bo Nix? I am a little bit. I can't exactly tell you why, but I think Bo Nix has a bit of a ceiling. I do think he can improve some more still, but I mean he played damn good ball last year.
I think they need more in the receiving court.
They need more weapons.
I think they're going to need more in the secondary and that back end. They'll be more competitive.
They got a nice defense now.
They had a little stretch there last season. They won like 4 or 5 straight games, but it's. Nothing's really intriguing me right now with Denver. I think Bo Nix, like you said, he's average. He's not going to uplift anyone. So
I think if he has the perfect situation, he could be your guy.
I think they're relying on Sean Payton's system to uplift
That's
everyone.
what they're relying on.
They're relying on that system to lift everyone, because before Drew Brees got into him, he was on his way out the league. That system uplifted Drew Brees. Oh, Drew Brees, he was talented already. Isn't any quarterback talented when they get in the NFL, right?
Yeah,
who's going to succeed? When did he start winning games under that Sean Payton system? Sean Payton is known. Taysom Hill, anybody. He's known as a guy. Any quarterback that gets to the system, they're going to do. They'll have production. They're going to be efficient, right? He's one of those guys that they say. So they're banking on Bo Nix being productive because of Sean Payton's system. That's why. But I don't think it's going to hold up. I got the Chargers winning the division, and Kansas City coming in the wild card in second.
I hate to go with the chalk, but I feel like it's really kind of not turning into that at this point. I feel like the demise of the Chiefs has been a little bit overblown so far. I don't think that they wrestled the division away from them that easy. Just because, bro, they got their ass beat last time we saw them.
Sometimes it does something.
They got beat.
Sometimes it does something to you.
And Mahomes didn't have some statistical monster season like he did in his first few years. The past 2 years for Mahomes, there's a reason why he hasn't really been in the conversation for MVP. Plain and simple. I'm not saying that Travis Kelce is going to all of a sudden turn the clock back and be 26 years old again or something like that. but I expect him to be more consistent than last year. I don't think he'll quite have those high of highs because, you know, he is older. He's taking a lot of fucking hits. He's had a lot of long seasons and all that. But, you know, they're relatively still intact. And I just don't see Mahomes really letting it go this year. I think he's going to come out a little bit on a mission.
Well, you know, it would have been very cliche to go with Kansas City, but I think LA Chargers want to break through and get it done.
I feel like the consensus right now feels like Denver's going to win the division. That's what I've been seeing a lot. But
Consensus. What has consensus ever done for anyone in football? Now, next we're going to go a little bit to the side, a little bit down south to the AFC South. Okay.
Duval.
One of them, you know, notoriously, it's been known as one of the weaker divisions in all of football. But here we are. We got the Texans, the Colts, Jaguars, and Titans. You got the number 1 overall pick in this division. You know, you got a top 10 quarterback in C.J. Stroud in this division. You have another top 3 pick from the NFL draft in this division in Travis Hunter. Okay, we got one of the biggest surprising starting announcements this week.
Yes, we did.
Daniel Jones will be starting over Anthony Richardson. They've already gave up on that project.
That, I just want to say right quick, that's embarrassing.
I wouldn't quite say that. Just know the nature of the NFL, the way these jobs on the line. If you're not coming with it in all these offseason programs to get to this point now, we starting Daniel Jones, bro. They got families to feed, like you said, it's mortgages and stuff.
I mean, I hear you, bro, but to give up on a top 3 pick in 2 years, I don't know if I've seen that in a long time.
Well,
I mean, if it was close, you would think they would still roll with Anthony Richardson. That means that it wasn't close, in my mind. I don't know if you see it the same way.
I don't think he was showing them enough off the field either for them to really be confident. I feel off the field he was doing questionable things, making music videos and all this stuff. And bro, you're not even balling right now. You're not even balling. And so for me, it's like, what's the point? What's the point? And his throwing hasn't got better. His decision making hasn't got better.
Boy, he got fucking blasted.
Yeah, he's still injury prone.
That
one hit, wrist broke. He's always something.
Dislocated pinkies and stuff.
I can't. Shane Steichen, I can't blame you, man. And I feel like you're a pretty good fucking coach. So
he probably feels like he coaching for the job right now.
Yeah, oh yeah. I would have started because that pick was on him. That pick was under his regime. And when they made that pick, I thought it was a stretch.
I feel like that's a little bit of a Jim Irsay type thing.
Yeah. Well,
recipe Jim Irsay.
Well, we gonna see about that. But what do you think about these Tennessee Titans? This is the least talked about number 1 pick.
I was just about to say that. Have you ever heard of like no news basically coming out of a place like it has been for the Titans this year?
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like I've ever seen that. I mean, he was in a little scuffle, some practice scuffle the other day. That's like the only thing I've heard. But I mean, you would expect them to be all right. I see them coming in last in this division. That might be a little bit of a hot take because, you know, there's Jacksonville out there. But honestly, I don't see it going well for them this year. I think they're going to take their lumps. Ridley is nice. Don't get me wrong. He's not going to change life.
He's not going to have much
for Cam Ward.
His offensive line is going to be much.
He's going to be running.
Much. Yeah, they're going to have to score some points. They're going to get some good play designs from that coach. Okay. Excuse me. They're going to get some good play designs from that coach, and they're going to score some points. Yeah, because like for me, we know he got a great arm. His strong suit is his accuracy, right? Accuracy, good arm. They don't really talk about his running much. He can move, but he does that second. So Cam Ward, they're gonna give him at least 2 to 3 seasons. You know, I don't see this going haywire quick or nothing like that. He showed me enough during the preseason, and the Titans have shown in years past that they've taken care of their quarterbacks and gave them a lot of leeway. Vince Young gave him a chance. Steve McNair, you know, Ryan Tannehill, they gave him so many years. You know, so they definitely will give Cam Ward a number 1 overall pick. You know, opportunity to grow within that system. And then that coaching staff is tied to him now. So, you know.
Who did they miss on not too long ago for a quarterback? Was it Malik Willis?
Oh, yeah.
Like that just happened.
But he was lower. He was like a low first round pick, so that was a bigger stretch than what Cam Ward would be. So, but and Malik Willis, he's still in the league. He's over there in Green Bay. He's backing up Jordan Love. So, I think he'll be all right. But yeah, Tennessee's not much to speak of right now. Now let's speak of the standard of the AFC South, the Houston Texans. Okay, they won this division the past 2 or 3 seasons. They got the best quarterback in the division. They got the best coach in the division. They got the best team. They have a top 5 defensive back. I think they have a top 7 receiver, especially one-on-one, Nico Collins. They got a top 10 slot receiver in Tank Dell. They got a top offensive lineman. They got a top young pass rusher in Will Anderson. Okay, they got a top veteran pass rusher in Daniel Hunter. What are we talking like, man? Sounds like we got everything here.
I think health is the biggest opponent to the Texans.
Sounds like we got everything right here, and we got a great tight end room. Jake Ferguson, Kate Stover, I love it. We got a good running back room. Got Nick Chubb over there now. Joe Mixon. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving what I'm seeing, Texans, and your division shouldn't be much to speak of. So handle that. Don't be in no battles to win your division the last week or two. Okay. Hell, dare I say it, try to go in that playoff with a damn bye. Try to go in there with a bye, at least a home field game. Win the division, get a home field game, I would say that. But CJ Stroud, they almost beat Kansas City in the playoffs last season with CJ Stroud running around for his life. They played Kansas City to the last minute. So I'm liking the Texans. I think they'll get 11 or 12 wins. I think they'll have a stellar regular season. And they might underwhelm in the playoffs, but they will have a stellar regular season. They will have a regular season that'll be challenging to get a first round bye.
What you mean underwhelm in the playoffs?
I don't think they'll win it all. I think they'll have a regular season that'll make a case for they can compete for a Super Bowl and they'll
conference
get in
championship.
And they'll get in. I don't think they'll get past the conference championship. No. If I can see them losing in the second round. I think that if they have to play in the first round, they'll win. If they get a first round bye, I think they'll lose. It'll be too much for them. They never had to deal with that before. But we'll see. Being a realist.
I mean, I understand being a realist and all that, but doesn't that kind of go out of the window when Jaden Daniels leads his team to the conference championship?
Well, that was Jaden. That was the NFC. That was Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels had to worry about facing Mahomes, Herbert, Lamar, Josh Allen, and should I keep going? And so for me, CJ Stroud, this is what he's a veteran now, getting close to that. So I think in a pretty decent quarterback situation with Davis Mills, I think the Texans will win enough games in the regular season where they'll be challenging for a first round bye. They'll have above average regular season. Above average. Not a wild card type season, above average regular season, and they will fall short of the Super Bowl. It's my opinion. So
I see the division coming down to the Texans and the Colts. I think that Daniel Dimes is gonna provide stability that they haven't seen in a while. Okay? They got a little talent over there in Indianapolis. I'm just saying I don't think it's far-fetched as you might believe. It says Shane Steichen is not too bad of a coach now. And, Daniel Dimes can move. I like what he's able to do sometimes. If it's all laid out for him and he's got a good play caller. So I'm looking forward to kind of seeing what they're doing because they got a little firepower at wide receiver and, still got Jonathan Taylor. It's not like there's some scrubs now. I do feel like they always give everybody in the division problems. So look out for them. Jacksonville, I mean, the most interesting thing about them, besides the ridiculous head coach, is Travis Hunter. I mean, I just want to see what they do with him this year. I think that's the biggest thing. And then Trevor Lawrence, as you were saying about Herbert earlier, I mean,
what the fuck?
What's going on with Trevor Lawrence?
He want to play a game or whatnot.
I was told that he's the greatest talent since John Elway and Peyton Manning. That's the type of hype he had coming out of college. So at this point, I definitely expected him to be further along and not on how many head coaches now? I mean, starting to pile up a little bit. But I'm just saying, they have some talent over there, but I'm just not seeing much from them. And I think honestly, like I said, bottom of the division is probably what's gonna happen.
I don't know, man. It could,
Liam Cohen is nice, and he led Baker to a nice season. I don't think he's cut out to be a head coach.
Well, we'll see. But the consensus, I think, between us two, Houston, Jacksonville, maybe Indiana. Well, those are the teams usually recent years have been in it. No surprises there. I think Houston's going to take it and have a pretty big stellar regular season. Now, we're going to the AFC East.
Yes.
Playing the Jackets.
I mean,
all right. We got New England, the New York Jets, Buffalo Bills,
and the
Miami Dolphins. Thank you.
I want to say there's a little hot seat growing under Mike McDaniel right now.
Sure.
Like, I don't know if it's right after this year, but if they perform real bad, I could see something happening there. Okay, because not just a couple years ago, he's the golden boy. I mean, the historic offense and all this, and what has he got you? I mean, y'all are clowned on because y'all can't play in cold weather, apparently. And I'm not saying it matters, but when I saw him in the playoff game across from Andy Reid, and he's bundled up like he's on top of Mount Everest, and Andy Reid is just over there chilling, and he's got icicles on his mustache, that means something to me, okay? Your team kind of reflects your head coach a little bit. And all these stories are coming out from players that are leaving that they're just not that serious down there. So, you can have all these weapons on offense and this crazy whole thing, but number one, you still always had the concern about Tua. You don't know if he's going to make it through a whole season. Their defense, I mean, has honestly, can you say it's been great? No. Can you say it's been average? A lot of times it's a little below average. And, like I said, I don't think their offense is going to be carrying them to much of anything this year. I mean, I see more improvement out of the Jets this year than I see out of the Dolphins.
Justin Fields doesn't make things interesting.
I don't think he really makes things interesting. I think they'll be a little bit better of a team, but I don't see them contending for the division. I mean, this division's kind of de facto. Who's going to win. All right, let's not beat around the bush.
I think New England's going to wake up this season. I think Mike Vrabel's waking up that whole franchise and making them realize who the fuck they are.
I think
Drake
they're
May,
one more year.
I'm a believer in Drake May. They got Stephon Diggs over there. They got a pretty good defense over there. They actually got some pretty decent receivers. Dare I say, New England does finally.
They actually have money to spend. It's crazy how that works.
I like Vrabel's going to put a culture in there. I think Drake May. I can see him still in a little wild card spot, making things interesting. I really do. I like Drake May. I like his skill set. He's kind of like what Mitchell Trubisky we thought he was going to be. I didn't like Drake May, but I like his. He's quick, great arm, makes good decisions. He doesn't really get rattled in the pocket. He's I think he's perfect for that team. So I think they'll make things interesting. Buffalo, I think they will take a slight drop. They retain a lot of people. They got a lot of people back.
A lot of people got paid. James Cook got signed to a new deal. Deion Dawkins still there on the line.
That's a team I can see an injury or two and they just kind of melt. But they've been knocking on the door for so many years now. So many tough losses, man. That shit's got to catch up at some point. So, and they're not really bringing many new people in like that. So, for me, it's like, let's see if Keon Coleman takes a step up like he's supposed to be, this number one receiver.
They're saying that he's doing a lot in camp. I have to wait and see personally. You know what I'm saying?
I like to see him get a little quicker with his feet, but, hey, what do I know? But, I'd like to see Keon Coleman step up and be that number one receiver for Josh Allen, alongside Gabe Davis, wherever the hell they be they still got over there. And Dalton Kincaid is gonna be what he's gonna be. You know, Knox. You know, both of those guys. I think the best 2 tight end duo right now in the league. Knox and Kincaid. So I'm you know, they have what they have. We know what Buffalo has. Are they gonna get past that? Sean McDermott, is he safe after this season? I don't think so.
I mean, if he wins 13 games and
they're used to that. He'll be the first domino to fall before anybody on the team. They'll get rid of him. They'll get Josh Allen.
He's not an offensive mind.
Yeah, he's not an offensive coach.
Because it's not like their defenses have been like super dominant the last couple of years or anything like that. So
what is he
your specialty is like defense anyway. Like you said, what do we have you here for?
Exactly. So
that's not true.
I can see that happening. You know, I could definitely see. You know, they finally convincing Lincoln Riley to come on up to the NFL. Lincoln Riley probably getting fed up with college at this point. He's like, you know what? The hell, all this NIL stuff and all this USC stuff. Let me just go. If I'm gonna not play around, coach big boys, really coach some big boys, you know. And he ain't got to worry about defense there. You know, you can really literally buy your fucking defense. So, I think Buffalo will have a wild card type season. I don't think they'll win that division. I think it'll be out of Miami and New England probably. I think one of them is still. Mike McDaniel's gonna be calling some very aggressive plays. He's feeling it, coach for a job. He's feeling it. I know he's feeling it. So
okay.
But I think I'm gonna pick New England to win this division, bro.
I think they're a year away.
Drake May second season. Stephon Diggs, Mike Vrabel.
I need to see how Stephon Diggs is gonna come out here. Okay. These injuries are starting to pile up on him.
I like New England to win the division. I really do. So that's the AFC East, man. It's really open. You know, it's very open, but at the same time, you know, you kind of got to, you know, you can point out some teams that we feel can win. I like New England this season in that division. Remember, bro, like NFL is not. This stuff changes season to season. Nobody stays and sticks and keeps winning like that. So.
I agree.
All right. So what we got? We on the AFC North.
Yeah, we're going to the AFC North.
I'm trying to see what going on.
All right, so now we move on to possibly the toughest division in all of the NFL and the AFC North. Obviously, Baltimore came out on top last year, but there's been some developments and lots of stories coming out of this division. We could go with the Steelers, who have finally decided to open up the money books, but not for Aaron Rodgers, who will be their starting quarterback. He only gets $10 million, but DK gets $30 million or something like that. So the Steelers are trying to go for a whole new thing. It seems like they're all in. Cincinnati, I mean, their situation just kind of speaks for itself. You don't even have possibly your best player under contract, so there's still that.
Cincinnati. If Joe Burrow's on the contract, their best player's on the contract.
Well, that's why I said it's debatable. You know, there's a sack king, and then there's somebody who's a top 3 quarterback, something like that. I'm just talking about per position, okay? Just saying. And then we have Baltimore. Obviously, seems like they've been knocking on the door for a minute here too. So they seem to be the favorites. Who would you say are your favorites for this division going into it? Does Baltimore retain?
It's a tough division, man. It's very tough. But I would say
Don't.
I ain't gonna think. You know what? This what I'm gonna say, because this is like it's some good. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. I think Cincinnati is the most talented team, but they just not gonna stay healthy. They can't convince me they're gonna stay healthy. So, got Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. I think they will be hesitant enough all season and not really risking their play. I think they're going to be the last one standing in that division. I really do. Just that culture, that veteran presence. You know, those guys he got out there, Aaron Rodgers routing the troops. Their defense is still always gonna be good. You know, I just got a good. It feels
Really?
good.
Really?
It just feels good what's going on out there in Pittsburgh. It really does. It really
Fire
does.
Booth and all these other people. Okay, that's nice.
It's hard
Aaron
for me.
Rodgers ain't about to turn. He's not an MVP.
Dare I say, I feel like Baltimore's definitely. I think they're a little burnt out. I think, you know, I think they're a little like, you know, man. Dare I say, feel like their window closed. You know.
Has it?
I don't know, man. Like I feel like it has.
Zay Flowers gonna come back, more experienced. It's one of their young key pieces.
Yeah, but that's your number one receiver, Zay Flowers.
I mean, do you need that great of a receiving core when you have that type of running game? Come on now. You know their identity is the run, and then we'll just hit you over the head a few times in the pass.
I think they'll be second. I think they'll be second in the division after Pittsburgh. It'll be that team could possibly get Denver 3 teams in. You know, but
there's a chance.
As far as Cleveland, I have no idea.
They don't.
They over here. Their best quarterback on the roster is hardly even getting reps. I don't know what they got going on. Does Shadur play? Does he not? I don't know. Deshaun Watson might not play this season. Joe Flacco.
He's not gonna play. I'm just gonna tell you.
See how long he lasts. Dylan Gabriel, please.
I think all of them are gonna get a chance to play, except for Deshaun Watson. He's not playing. But all of the people on their depth chart, they got 4 quarterbacks, excluding Deshaun Watson.
Man,
because Joe Flacco's gonna get hurt after about 6-7 games. They're probably gonna go with Dylan Gabriel next. I don't see them holding up through however many games he plays. Do you feel like Shadur was wronged and not at least being called the backup?
He wasn't wronged. It was just he was wronged by not getting a chance with the starters at any point. He never got first team reps ever. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
I mean, you're the 5th round guy.
Give him a snap or 2 with the starters, man. Y'all playing like what quarterback is y'all saving that spot for us? That's so good, so great, so good on that roster. That's bullshit. So, and for me, it's like they had nothing to lose, but I think it looks like he's made the last 53-man roster. You know, that's something, but he will get a chance to play. Joe Flacco, so he's old. He won't be healthy all season.
No.
Okay? No. Dylan Gabriel's not going to have that spot on lock. Shadur will get his time to shine.
That's what I said. They're all going to get their time to play.
They're going to get their time. Kenny Pickett, they're not worried about him.
Because if Shadur, and you know, I say this sometimes, and I don't think you hear me, but if Shadur was blowing people's minds away and everything that he was doing in practice and everything like that, he would probably have been at least named the backup. Because the circus just gets louder with them pushing him down the depth chart like this. So let's say that day comes, game, week 10, something like that. He gets to go in second half in an important game. Gets his first playing time, does well, wins the game. Do you think that they're not going to have to ride that out? Of course they are. It won't be, once they open the bottle, the genie's coming out. So I just hope he takes this time to really, get used to the NFL game, because I'm not going to lie to you, he developed a couple of bad habits just based on what he was having to deal with in Colorado, and he's going to have to correct a few of those things being in the NFL. I'm just saying, he drifts a little bit in the pocket sometimes when you're feeling the pressure. It's difficult to stand there and just, amongst all the flying bodies and everything. So, but I think he can do it. I mean, I think he's more than talented enough to do it. Pedigree alone should tell you that he's going to be the man for the job by the end of the season. But I just don't know, man. He's going to have to show something. That last preseason game was nothing to speak of.
Well, he's going to be in a division with very tough defenses and stuff, and everything. I'm not worried about Shadur. When he gets a chance to play around actual starting NFL talent, every offensive lineman that he played with in the preseason has been cut. They have been cut. He was playing with guys that they're going to be plumbers here soon. So stop it. He hasn't had a real chance. You see when he plays around a Travis Hunter or a Mario Miller or a Will Shepherd or a fucking Jimmy Horn. You see what happens? Some real talent, real speed. He fucking lights it up. So there you go with that. But my pick for the AFC North, very tough division, one of the tougher divisions in the league. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, with Aaron Rodgers' way, will win this division. I think number 2 will be Baltimore. A close third, Cincinnati, and of course Cleveland. They won't get together this season. They'll be up and down circus. They'll be last place. So
I am going a little bit different on this one. I think it's the return of the Bengals a little bit this year. I see them taking the division. Baltimore coming in second. I think that the Steelers experiment is going to fizzle out about halfway through the year. Okay, due to injury or whatever else. I just don't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to boost that team to some unprecedented levels that we haven't seen before. I don't think that their defense is that amazing. And, Mike Tomlin is sure very good at getting 9 wins. And that's probably what he'll do again. And that's about it.
He says probably what he do. That's funny. AFC North will be interesting, and that's going to be one to watch all season. But we're going over to the National Football Conference, NFC, and we're gonna start right in it. NFC East, fuck it, why not? The defending champs are in this division, of course. You're well familiar, Philadelphia Eagles. Yes. America's team in this division, Dallas Cowboys. And you have the Washington Commanders. It look like NFL's little darling right now. The Commanders just re-signed Terry McLaurin. Yeah, things are looking up at them. And then you have the New York Giants, who are kind of sneaky. You're hearing whispers about maybe a decent season.
That defensive line, Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, Jackson Dart looks good to people.
So, will Philadelphia defend their title as NFC East champions?
Difficult because Philly, I see them taking a little step back this year. I do see them getting a wild card spot, but I don't necessarily see them winning the division. I think that the Commanders will probably do that this year, and the reason is that offensive line. Now, they were having like a ridiculous season last year, but I believe Landon Dickerson is already hurt. You already lost not Bakhtiari, but it was their left tackle. But regardless, he was a big part of that O-line all the way through the championship run. So you're already down like 40% of your offensive line. I don't know, man. I think that's very, very key for them in order to have success. I mean, Saquon had like 600 yards or something like that before contact.
Oh yeah,
that's like.
Yeah. Well, look,
come on.
I don't think he's having a season.
Your whole line is moving fools.
I don't think he's having a season like that again. He's gonna be Saquon Barkley, but he's not having a season like that again. It was a lot of adrenaline first year in Philly. He was there. He's a simmer down.
Worked out well for him. Definitely worked out.
Dallas will be a lot better than what people think. I think they'll be a playoff team. Dare I say? I think they'll make it to playoffs this season. But it'll be a wild card, but they'll be in the playoffs. I do think they have enough. I like the George Pickens with CeeDee Lamb. I think that's going to be very explosive. I like the running backs. I do. Jaden Blue, you know what I'm saying? It was over there. I like the running backs. I really the defense is going to be pretty decent. See if Demarion Overshawn can stay healthy. They won't be worried about Mike as much if he can stay healthy, but we won't hush about that. They'll get Micah signed, or if he won't get signed, they'll get a hell of a fucking trade package and they'll have all this hope for the future. Dallas will be fine. Washington. Now, we had a little, they sparked, caught lightning about, like you like to say, last season. Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, got Deebo Samuel over there now. They traded Brian Robinson to the 49ers, but they didn't need him that much. They got.
They're counting on this new rookie that they brought in. Yeah. I forget his name,
but the defense is looking okay. They're not like good as an offense, but they're looking okay. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be their downfall as a defense. They'll score points. They're but their playmakers get hurt a lot. Deebo Samuel gets hurt a lot. And you gotta think about Deebo Samuel is a running game too.
But when you look at that setup though, McLaurin and Deebo, you would imagine that, you know, it's going to be favorable for either of them on any given matchup because you're not going to necessarily going to be able to key on one particular receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't expect them to use. I do expect them to have some packages for Debo to run the ball and stuff like that, but I don't think it's going to be as prevalent as it was when he was with San Francisco.
Right. Well, I just think Washington, they're not going to be as explosive as this season. I really think it's going to be between them and Dallas in this division. I do. I think Jalen Hurts is going to take a little step back. They're going to be a little Super Bowl drunk. I know he's that guy who says all the right things. Oh, we ain't done nothing yet. Got so much to do new season, blah, blah, blah. I don't think y'all going to.
Are you going to give Nick Sirianni his respect?
Philadelphia will not be. Philadelphia.
No.
You know what? Oh, man. You talking about the luckiest clown in the world?
No. We had this conversation before. We said that if he won the Super Bowl, you couldn't do this to him, at least for that year. Are you not going to honor that?
This guy, bro, he's the luckiest fucking clown I've ever fucking known.
I mean, there's only so much luck that you can have now. Come on. 2 Super Bowl appearances. 1 W.
Look, man.
It burns a bit.
Bro, it's like the
Like
only way
right
it worked for him, he had to get the most mature quarterback there was, and it's Jalen Hurts, literally. And so, but you know what? Hey, he's got a pass of like 3 more seasons now because of that. Doug Peterson won, and he got expired, I think, 2 seasons later. So he's not safe. But I think this season will wake a lot of people up. Like, yeah, we still don't have the right coach. I think that, bro. Hot take here, people. Philadelphia finishes 4th.
Finishes 4th
In the NFC East. They finished last. It'll be a close last. They'll be competitive, but that's how good the NFC East will be this season. The Giants, they'll be more competitive.
They'll be competitive, but will they jump?
I think they can be better than Philadelphia.
How long do you see them staying with Russell Wilson? Because he'll probably start. And Jackson Dart will likely come in at some point. Or do you think he sits all year? I don't think Brian Daboll has that type of time.
He doesn't. If they don't get the playoffs this season, he doesn't. He's barely here this season right now.
Right.
If he feels like the team is slipping out of playoff contention, you know, in the first half of the season, Jackson Dart will be in that game. Period. So that's easy. Like, that's easy. Jackson Dart, he looks pretty good in camp. Yeah, put him in. If Russell Wilson not getting the job done, put him in for sure. Got James Winston over there, and you know, so they're in a good situation if you ask me. As far as like he's gonna be running and gunning it. You know, last season he think in his mind it could be, so he's gonna be very aggressive play calling and stuff. Man, I really think New York's gonna be pretty decent, but they don't make the playoffs. They don't. I think it's gonna be out of Dallas and Washington in that division in the NFC East. So Dak Prescott will have the Cowboys back in the playoffs. He will.
Just a resurgence of all resurgence. You know, I hope that, you know, it goes well, because it hasn't been going all that well this summer for the Cowboys. And besides CeeDee Lamb just getting in the way in preseason games, that was pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. But Jerry Jones, the gift that keeps on giving. I hope that just is that simple as you say, and that, you know, Mike's gonna come back.
He'll sign. You know why? Mike, you know why? They have rights to him for 3 fucking years. 3
Maybe
years.
So
you better put that pen to the paper and do something. Or you're gonna be sitting rustling up in your
Emmitt Smith did something where he held out, and then all of a sudden 2 games later, bag was spent. So we're gonna see.
It's a very petty thing going on with them. The agent and all this shit. They need to just get it together. Cause I'm about sick of it. Every offseason is something with them, but they're not paying.
It ain't nothing about football.
Jerry acting like he just hurting so much on money. Come on.
And he got the documentary that just came out last week, The Gambler.
Gambler, what the fuck? Oh my gosh. Dude, I'm scared to even take Johnny Manziel. We have him in his hands. Like, how are you a gambler? I just don't understand. He took Zach Martin. Hey, it worked out. You took a Hall of Famer over a fucking cokehead, you know.
It worked out.
You never know. Johnny Manziel could have got structured around the Cowboys and did his thing, but hey, whatever. It's time to go. So Cowboys, Washington, NFC East picks. Okay, all right. It's time to stay down south a little bit and just go to the NFC South. Okay.
Okay.
Very putrid division for recent years, but they do have a standout playoff team the last 2 seasons in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield. You got the Panthers and Bryce Young
had a little resurgence.
Playing like Bryce Smith, lately, but Atlanta Falcons. We've been hearing stuff about them forever, and the New Orleans Saints. So, who does Tampa Bay take this one again?
Atlanta Falcons win the division. Mark it.
Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
With who at quarterback? Michael
Penix.
Okay.
He gonna gunsling, man. He gonna fucking throw that bitch around. Look for Kyle Pitts to be much more involved. Look for their other weapons to get some. Because he's gonna fucking throw that bitch now. Okay? He's gonna stand in there and he's gonna throw it. He can't move. So, he's gonna fucking sling that bitch. Now, he's gonna have some interceptions and all that, but he's gonna be
they have one of the best
bitch.
playmakers. And not Brian Roberts. Fuck him. Wasn't that? They've been running back from Texas. Damn it. The guy's he's amazing.
Bijan Robinson.
Sorry, I'm about to say Najee Harris and all them motherfuckers. But Bijan Robinson, man, he's what you will want out of a running back. He can catch. He can run. He's powerful. He's not scared.
Since he's came in, produced.
It's about their time coming by now, right?
Yeah, they've been stacking picks and all that.
I don't think they're there yet, bro. I think Tampa Bay got a well-oiled machine right now. I got them in there. I think
lose your
Carolina,
offensive coordinator and different stuff like that. Is Baker going to be able to continue that level of success? I'm not exactly sure. He was getting up into MVP talks. So that shows you the level he was having to go to try and carry that team over the threshold. I think that Atlanta's got something cooking over here, man.
I like Carolina.
They were in a lot of one-score games.
They'll be a better team. Carolina, they won't be in the playoffs, but they'll be in the playoff contention towards later this season. I think Bryce Young has been tired of hearing the shit. He has a weapon in Jimmy Horn who's been showing out. Look like he can be the next Deshaun Jackson. I'm telling you.
Like Steve Smith type role.
Yeah, like I'm telling you, man, he's quick. He's got hands. He's a great route runner, and I think he has a better rookie season than Travis Hunter. I think he has a better rookie season than Travis Hunter.
I can see that. I don't like. I had to see how they're gonna do it, but I don't think they're gonna expose Travis Hunter enough. Like he's not gonna play 40 snaps on both sides of the ball all the time. They're probably gonna give him like 8 plays on offense and then like 20 plays on defense. Not even letting.
He's more of a. They want him to play more receiver, bro. You know what?
Oh, I know.
Because they put on the depth chart. He's the number 2 receiver, and he's the number 4 cornerback on the depth chart. So they want him to be more. If you want to be honest, they need more. They need him to be more of a weapon for Trevor Lawrence than a weapon.
Well, it's because of Trevor Lawrence's situation. I would say is the reason why they're positioning it like this. They have no choice but to go all in on Trevor Lawrence now. Otherwise, it's over. Would you not agree?
Yeah, and that's why they got to get the best playmaker they can, and they did, and we'll see what happens with that. But I think Carolina's going to do very well this season, like compared to their standards. I think Bryce Young is going to shut people up. Like, okay, I am the quarterback for this team. That kind of like that year when Tua kind of snapped out of it, kind of started doing this.
Just kind of figured it out.
I think Bryce Young. I like what I see in preseason. He's scoring on every damn drive. It seems like so. I like what I think. Carolina is going to be a lot better, a lot better. Now New Orleans. Tyler Show me the door, because it's where you're gonna be at.
Whatever his fucking
Chow Mein is what he's gonna be. Chow fucking Mein. All right. You choose that guy over Shadir Sanders? I didn't hear him. I didn't hear his name one time in Louisville when he was there. Not once. Yeah. But you know what? Oh, he's been stinking up the joint in preseason, stinking it up. You over here, they do not want to start Spencer Rattler, but it looks like they have to because this guy
have a choice.
And have a choice because this guy ain't showed you nothing. You got to start Spencer Rattler. So they're in a very
they're in purgatory right now.
Yeah, well,
they're no idea what they are.
They're in a perfect position to get Arch Manning, and to get him to come on to New Orleans back home. That's what they're.
It's like Arch from back in the day.
That's what I think they're doing. So I wouldn't be surprised if they'd be very much in contention to get him towards season's end. But yeah, New Orleans won't get anything to speak of. Now the order, I think Tampa Bay, they will 3-peat as NFC South champions. 3-peat. Shout out to everybody over there, man. Shout out to Todd Bowles. People thought you were done after the Jets, and he's came here and made Baker resurge his career. He started with Tom Brady, but man, like he's been doing his thing at Tampa Bay. He's been sticking it out there through all the bullshit. He's there. Got Mike Evans to stay. I like what I'm seeing from Todd Bowles, and I think they're gonna repeat as champs in the NFC South. Number 2 will be Carolina. Yes. Okay. Number 3 will be Atlanta. They're gonna see, bro. They're not gonna be what I'm telling you.
We'll see.
It'll be a close 3,
we'll
but
see.
They're not gonna do what you think. And last, I think, of course, with the New Orleans Saints, they're trying to get Arch Manning, apparently. So next, going out west. Going out west. The NFC West. Okay. NFC West. We got the Arizona Cardinals. All right. We got who we got in the NFC West?
The Rams.
Yeah. LA Rams, Arizona Cardinals,
49ers, and the
Seahawks. Okay. They finna see some new faces at the top. Cause
you can make an argument for the Seahawks. Second year with their new coach.
Would Jalen Milroe get some time?
I could see it. Why not? It adds a different dimension to them that they could use at that position. I'm not gonna lie to you. But 49ers lost quite a few people on defense. I don't see it taking like a step back or anything like that. But, it might be a little different. But yeah, when you lose Hufanga, you lose people like Greenlaw. I mean, it just seems like their defense is kind of aging out a little bit. So I'm looking to see what John Lynch is going to do to replace those type of pieces. And I do think you need another type of weapon on offense for Brock Purdy. Ayuk's nice and everything like that, and he can definitely be a one. But I do feel like they were a little too Deebo Samuel reliant. And I think Kyle Shanahan was kind of getting away with being a little bit lazy when it came to the type of play calls he was willing to give Brock Purdy. You paid him the money, so I definitely expect them to give him more control in terms of what type of offense they're going to run and everything like that. So look out for the 49ers not to be as bad as last year, but I don't see them necessarily competing to win the division. They're capable if everything goes right. I mean, you could argue they got the best play caller in the division. I mean, McVay would have something to say about that. But I just don't know about the Rams, man. Mainly for injury concerns. I mean, Matt Stafford is already going through all this all summer, and it doesn't seem like he's necessarily 100%. Like, if he takes a few shots, like, how long is he going to hold up? I don't know. That's a legitimate question in my mind. It does seem like the Rams should be the ones to go and take the division this year, but it's tough, man. I feel like at some point, okay, and then he's gone again. I do feel like at some point Arizona has to. I mean, we're I'm trying to get this shit right because somebody wants me to come get 2 of these. I'm good. But like I said, I do think that Arizona eventually has to kind of start making some moves. Okay, they've been stacking talent down there. I mean, you got Marvin Harrison Jr., you got Colin Murray, and they say that he's been better than he's been in years. So, Maybe Arizona goes for the division this year.
No, I don't think.
I just don't see Matt Stafford making it through the whole season, and then I'm not putting my faith in Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not gonna do it.
What I learned about Sean McVay, he always has something up his sleeve, some player, somebody he thinks gonna help them in a tremendous way. I think he knows what he has. I've been hearing some things about the LA Rams. I think they're gonna be pretty decent this season.
Puka and Devontae.
Yeah,
don't fucking hurt.
We all know Sean McVay can coach the hell out of a quarterback. So even at backup, I think he would get somebody him. But I think who wins this division. I'm not gonna get too hot take-ish on it. I'm gonna say the 49ers pull this one out again.
Really?
Brock Purdy, he's been here a little bit. He's not all that to me, but he's enough for that division. You know, they got Brian Robinson Jr. They added him to the running back room to kind of replace Deebo Samuel a little bit. You know, they got their receivers. You know, they got Kittle still there.
Kittle, you got Ayuk.
Yeah.
Outside of that,
but they draft pretty well, and Shanahan coaches pretty well. So it's some guys that want to break out that we don't know about.
True.
You know, and I like the defense, still pretty decent. They won't be like that dominant regular season team like they were, but they'll still get in there. They'll probably scrape in, but they'll get in. You know, I like the 49ers to take that division still. 2, I think Seattle would now we're talking Seattle. You know, Sam Darnold over there now. I'm like, you know, I think he'll do great there. You know, he's back home on kind of the West Coast and stuff.
You see him having the same success that he had last year in Minnesota? I don't know if he'll quite have that type of season.
I don't say
What's
that.
his
No,
weapons?
he won't
He
have
don't got
that.
a Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, he won't have that type of season. But he'll have a season where you'll respect. You go, okay, he did this one well this season. But I think Jalen Milroe will get a shot this season. I really do. I think you put him in game action, he's going to make some plays. He's quick. He's powerful. He has a strong arm. You know, he will scare the hell out of some defenses. Some defensive coordinators planning for that. So I think Seattle will be 2, 3, close 3. Arizona. I think this will be Kyle's last year in Arizona. I think they're done with him. He's done with them. I think they draft a quarterback next draft. That relationship between him and Arizona is sour big time. I don't think they want either player wants to be there. The player or the coach wants him to be there. So that'll tank. And I think last place. I do think the Rams will be last place. I do. I don't think they have much. They could be in play maybe to get a big quarterback or something like that. But Sean McVay can only do so much. He can only do so much. He was contemplating retiring a year or so ago. So
yeah, it was.
You know, I think they want to have one of the more harder years record wise they've had in a while. So I do think the 49ers will retain that, and they will keep that division as theirs. I really do. I really do. Pause. Gotta see something. I'm trying to see. Make sure this machine works. Okay, this one works. Great. Okay, I guess it'll just.
All right, and then finally we have the NFC North. Obviously, this division's been running a little bit by the Lions lately, but do you see anyone rising up for this year?
NFC North. I think Minnesota's gonna get that one done. JJ McCarthy, Justin Jefferson, and the crew. They're gonna get that done. And I think they've been close a lot of years. Kevin O'Connell, I think he's got to figure it out. Jordan Love, I'm not that confident in Jordan Love.
I'm not either.
I'm not.
And even less on their receiving corps.
He's a little fragile to me. And they're not much in receiving corps either. I don't like what they have on defense. You know, I think that thing's gonna kind of hit the fan a little bit this season with them. And Chicago. Caleb Williams. They'll be better. They'll win more games. Will they be in the playoffs? No, they will not. They will not be in the playoffs. Caleb Williams, I just don't think he's that guy like people thinks. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he should be maybe a starter. But Is he gonna be a guy that's gonna have your team in championship contention in most years? I don't think so. He will need a super loaded, talented team around him. I don't see him doing it, and he's not that fast like that. You know, his arm is pretty good, but you know, it's not like he has a crazy fucking arm either. So Caleb, like, you know, this is all as a result of I just feel like Caleb Williams being overrated. That's it, and his receivers are very overrated. Rome Odunze, I feel he was overrated coming out of Washington. You know,
yeah. I mean, one would say that them getting Ben Johnson in there, that they should have a more well-rounded offense for basically everybody. So you don't see there being a big increase in terms of their offensive production this year compared to last?
Not really. I think they'll like I said, they'll be better. They'll win more games and stuff. I don't think it's going to result in the playoffs though. I really don't. I don't think it's going to result in even the playoffs. You know, now let's say certain injuries happen here and there in their division and they catch some breaks. I can see them sneaking in on some lucky stuff, getting in and out in the first round. You know, I can see that. I really could, but nothing more than that. Chicago's not ready yet. They're not ready. They're just not ready. I see. The Vikings are a lot better on paper, both sides of the ball. The Packers are a lot better, of course. And honestly, just my opinion, I feel like the Packers might end up being last in this division this season. I feel they can implode. I think they're a lot fragile than what people think.
I can definitely see that.
You know, I don't know why people are just putting them at the top. Like, no, teams change every year.
And don't let Jordan Love go out for a few weeks, because if Malik Willis is coming in, boy, it's gonna be hard times.
Yeah. So Detroit, that's like I do think they take a step back. I think if anybody's windows closed, I think their windows closed. And Jared Goff, you know, he's a mid of the pack guy. You know, they got a good offensive line. I think teams have just figured them out. And
Frank Ragnow retired. That's a big piece of the offensive line. They didn't really see that coming.
I don't know. I think that raw stuff might be rubbing a little thin on that team this season with Dan Campbell.
I don't see that. I don't know. I think you
Sam Laporta, and you think all this gonna be enough, man? You think it's gonna be enough?
Look, I think that they had about 12 different people off of that defense that went out due to injury and stuff last year, and they're gonna get damn near all those guys back this year. I think that's gonna make a huge difference. I do think that, you know, Jared Goff, while he did lose his coordinator and stuff like that, I just don't see it affecting them as much, because I think at this point Jared Goff is a well-established veteran. He kind of knows his way around. I mean, you know, they don't really have to change things up too much, and I don't think they're going to have to score quite as much as they did last year. I think this defense is going to be able to carry their weight a little bit more this year, just due to the fact that they were damn near snake bitten last year, man. That shit was ridiculous. Almost everybody on the defense was like some second stringer or something like that.
Man, I don't say that. Okay, you know, you are talking about Detroit, right?
I'm talking about Detroit.
They've had their chances, man. They've had their win. I remember them being up pretty big against San Francisco in that playoff game, and you know, and they blew it.
That was the time to do it, to be honest.
That was the time, and
well, this last year really.
And they messed around and let their division get better. Now the Bears are better. Now the Packers, even though I think they'll be as good, they have more confidence. You know what I'm saying? And so in Minnesota's JJ McCarthy's back.
That's the biggest wild card to me, is just Minnesota. Like, how does JJ McCarthy really do first year starting?
I think he's ready. I think he's ready, man. I really do. I think he's gonna go in there. He's gonna shut shit down. I really do. And the NFC North, that's pretty wide open too. Now I'm looking at it. It's pretty wide open. Detroit, nobody's confident on them. Nobody's riding high on the Chicago going in there. You know what I'm saying? Same for the Packers, Minnesota. Nobody's really just go, oh, that's the team that's going. Not really, bro. We don't know. We don't know. That's always been a tough division. Tough. But I do think the winner of that division will be Minnesota.
Well, I'm still rolling with the Lions, and I don't see The Bears being second. I do see it. Minnesota ends up in that second spot, but we'll see. We'll see, man.
This is so hard to figure out, guys. Right now, it's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts. It's preview. It's a preseason. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
But the good thing is that picks can hit the field.
Yeah, it's gonna be time for the gridiron.
There's no more ifs, ands, and buts. I'm telling you what happened. You know, and one of the things you can stick out the most is one of the hot takes I had in here. I think the Cowboys will win the division. I think Philly will miss the playoffs. I think Cincinnati will miss the playoffs again this season. Okay, I think who else? I think the New England Patriots will win the NFC East. You know, there's some big takes you guys should take from this, some brilliance you should take from this.
Okay, we're gonna go all that.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, y'all know my picks. I mean, the most radical ones probably are, Arizona's probably gonna take that division. San Francisco finishes second.
Fuck right there.
And then I see that Houston might have a battle on their hands for that division crown. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying. And Atlanta Falcons win their division. I told you to book it, so book it. All right, but that's gonna do it from us.
Who knows, man? Who fucking knows? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. And the prize pick segment coming up soon.
For all your gambling needs.
Oh man, that's gonna be. I'm trying to get fucking rich off this. I'm telling you, I will. I will. But man, it's been Location Talk, raw, uncut. We out, baby.